It seems to be a different world now. And if we look back of what we have all been through, where each one of us has probably lost someone near or dear to him or her, that I would like to believe that that was a nightmare, a storm that has passed, leaving behind a path of destruction that we need to grapple with. It has left a message for all of us, and just like a mercenary leaves a message after committing a crime, the message that says that nature is all but powerful. Somehow it has also left a reference point in our lives. If I remember correctly, and if all of you remember, when we were growing up with a reference point of before Christ and Anno Domini. Now we are living in a world where it's pre-COVID and post-COVID. All the references are starting from that point of when we met each other was whether it was pre-COVID or post-COVID. But then I believe there are two constants in this universe. One is the ever-changing environment, and second is the human ability to adapt to this changing environment. In my opinion, these are the two constants that never ever change. We have seen the world evolve, and through every evolvement, we have come out stronger. We make changes in our lifestyle. We have learned how to cope up with this pandemic during the last 2 years. Learned the art of wearing masks when I believe I never could, and we all believed we never could, and social distancing, etc., just in the pursuit of survival. And while many of us had the luxury of doing so, being in our own home in the safe custody of our adobe, abode, uh, many of us, our team members, our seafarers, they had to struggle all alone, seemingly all alone, on an isolated island, far away from their families and friends, working tirelessly day in and day out to move the bloodstream of this world, making the deliveries just in time possible, and finally not getting an acknowledgement for doing so. I think I have no doubt that everyone in this room, that the seafarers and the entire shipping community needs a huge round of applause for their efforts. I salute you all. I think a round of applause probably is just a way to express our appreciation for the efforts. But I can assure you, being a seafarer myself and worked on ships for many years, I realize the hardships that you must have faced in terms of isolation, in terms of not being able to go ashore for months, not being able to lead a normal life for many months. It was not easy. We acknowledge that. We appreciate your efforts, and and let me tell you something, that you were never alone. We never ever left the sight of any of our team members, and I'm proud to say that our team members on board did not leave us behind. The the the, the relationship that we had invested in all these years finally bore the fruits during the pandemic. It was when we needed the most. Our core philosophy of mutual trust and mutual respect actually came handy. This has been our cornerstone from the time when we started, and we believe that this was a very great tool for our survival when we had this pandemic going on. We respected our team for their efforts and thanked them every day for their achievements. And our team trusted us that we will move heaven and earth to ensure that they remain safe during joining, sailing, and sign off. At the same time, we also were looking after the welfare of the families that were behind, and right from providing them assistance to making sure that they and the families and the children are safe has been our initiative all along. I do not say that we did not have problems in signing off our staff on time, but even in the peak of the pandemic, we had less than 15% of our staff at any given point of time overdue for relief. I think it is a huge achievement. And while a lot of credit can go to our manning department, our operations department, our team, but there was an unprecedented support from our owners, from our clients, who backed us every time we went to them for help and alternatives. A huge round of applause I would request to for our clients who have been with us in the thick of things. Thank you so much. Coming to our organization and shipping in general, I think COVID we can talk for forever, but let's come to the hard realities of life. So coming to our organization and shipping in general, the wheels of time have kept moving while we were all busy with our endeavors. I'm pleased to say and proud, and in fact very proud, to say that we have celebrating our 10th anniversary this year. A huge achievement and a milestone that we have successfully completed our operations and provided a quality service to our clients. While the entire credit for this goes to our teams, both on ships as well as Team Ashore, and needless to say, our clients who have trusted us with their valuable assets. I'm now pleased to inform that we are today managing 55 ships for 11 different clients coming from Japan, Isle of Man, Greece, Taipei, Singapore, Vietnam, and Dubai. And I'm sure with the kind of team that we have, with the passion and with the enthusiasm that I see both on ships as well as ashore, this is just a launching platform. We have a huge potential, and I'm sure that in times to come, we would be a force to reckon in this industry. Given an opportunity, of course, I would like to relive that entire journey in the same manner over and over again. The last 10 years has been an amazing journey, and as I always say, I'm blessed to be a part of this team and truly honored to be leading it. And again, while we have been busy with our own day-to-day operations, the shipping has continued to evolve. In our pre-COVID seminar of 2019, we talked about the new fuel and the effects that the VLSFO would have on the engine, the supply issues, the way forward, and a lot of debate on scrubbers and whether to have a scrubber or not, and multitude such discussions. I'm happy to say that this has all been resolved pretty successfully, and chaos in this regard is more or less over. And the issue is, as far as this issue is concerned, vessels are able to burn this fuel efficiently. People both on board as well as ashore have evolved, learned, and made necessary changes in the way they need to use this fuel. However, if VLSFO was a jumping rabbit in this room, the new regulation on EEXI, CII, GHG rating, and many new acronyms that you would hear over the next few years is a big, huge elephant. And we need to deal with this in a planned manner. And since it is going to have a long-term impact, unless and until we bring down the carbon emission level to zero. So this is going to stay here for a long time, and it would require novel thoughts, a lot of out of box thinking, and we need to hone our earlier skills, pick up new knowledge, and develop skill sets that I think were not required in the previous era. New fuels are going to come in, new regulations are going to come in, new reporting standards are going to come in, and more more importantly, things are going to come in now that we don't even know, or the IMO doesn't even know about. So it's a lot of gray area that we are going to work in. It's like chalking the path as we move ahead, navigating with handheld soundings, if we can understand it from a mariner's point of navigator's point of view. But one thing is for sure, that we are on a roller coaster ride, where there is a lot of uncertainty. And the second is that we are all together in this. I can assure you that we are trying to do, as a shipping community and society is, trying to undo the wrongs of the past and leaving behind a legacy for the next generation, so that our children can have a better, healthier, and safer world. We have to have a positive frame of mind for this and believe in the process that we call as decarbonization and digitalization. There's a lot of talks going on in this area, and obviously it would be additional work for all of you sitting here, lot of additional paperwork to be done, lot of additional thinking to be done. But believe it, and take it from a positive perspective, that what you are going to do today is going to undo the wrongs of the past. So on that note, if you take it as a positive frame, with a positive frame of mind, this would be something that we can be proud about in 20 years time. Thank you so much once again for being here with us for the next 2 days. As always, we have a few presentations being made by external and internal speakers. We have industry partners here. We have our own team here. We have our clients here. And this combination is but rare. Utilize this opportunity not only to take away from this conference, but also to give back, to share with us your experiences, because your experiences are unique, and it is for us to learn from you rather than you learning from us, as to how we can help how we can improve our services to make your life on board better. So please take this opportunity. We have our clients here, we have our industry partners here. Get involved in a discussion, get involved in sharing, and enjoy these next 2 days as a learning experience for all of us. Thank you so much to all of you, and wish you all a wonderful journey for the next 2 days. Thank you so much. Salamat po.
Thank you, sir, for your words and your vision. We, as sir told, we currently have 55 ships in our fleet and 5 units which operate these ships. We currently operate bulk carriers, log bulk ships, container ships, livestock carriers. Mr. Samarth Mathur here is the proud head of unit number 3, and now he will share some of the insights into good watchkeeping practices. Sir, if you may.
Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is fine, fit, healthy, all good. Welcome. We welcome you all. It's wonderful to see all of you here. Thank you so much, sirs, our esteemed client owners, Takahashi-san, Sato-san, Sir Sean, Mata ma'am, Ren-san. Welcome. We thank you so much for coming here. So Thank you, Vanessa, for your lovely words and the journey which we have covered so far, and the difficult years which we have crossed and successfully crossed and strongly held on to each other. We we have my presentation. I'm going to talk about going back to basics, because the last 2 years, 3 years, the shipping industry has been, badly affected, and we have to keep a strong focus on our basics. The new regulations are coming in. We are adapting to new technologies and moving towards the new directions, but we have to be in stronghold of our basics and our watchkeeping standards, our which are strength, and we have to operate the ships for a long time. This is just a beginning, and we are growing, and in order to sustain, we have to make a lot of efforts to continue what we are delivering. So I'll just start. So presently, I will discuss some points about the focus areas. What are the what are the parties which are focusing on us on the vessel operation and getting affected by this performance of the vessel, and what makes our vessel, the maintenance of vessel and our operations, safe operations, so important for everybody. Standards of watchkeeping. We have to maintain our standards of watchkeeping very high. The things are moving very fast, and a lot of people are watching us. And crew safety, crew operations, cargo operations are increasing, and the risks are increasing. Times are changing, the technologies are changing. So a lot of focus is there. So we have to continue the best watchkeeping standards, what we do. Fuel monitoring. Fuel has been changing over, as Vanessa said. Fuel has been changing. We are now using VLSFO. There are so many challenges with regards to fuel, and in the last 3 years we have faced many problems handling this fuel. So I will discuss some points which we have gathered. I put together how we have managed to use this fuel. Environmental aspect. We are moving towards decarbonization very fast. How we are going to do it, me and my colleague will be discussing this in today's meeting. Training and record keeping, one of the most important factors. We have to train our crew, continue training very strongly, so that we are prepared for any emergencies, any scenarios at any time. Good housekeeping is the key to have a safe vessel, a good looking vessel, a well accepted vessel. All parties, all inspections, in fact, the safety of the crew is all dependent upon how we maintain the vessel. Good housekeeping contributes heavily towards that. Good practices. I'll be sharing some of the slides which we have received from the feedback from crew. You have given us a lot of good ideas, and implementing them across the board is important. How we can implement them, or how we can share them. So I have some slides which I have received from vessels, and it's good to see what's happening on board. So who is watching us? We have to be ready. IMO is there, of course. The owners and the ship managers. We are the owners. Owners are here. Ship managers. Everybody wants the ship to be maintained very nicely, and everybody is having all these people are having the same requirement and focus on safety and environmental protection as a priority. So charters are there, the insurance companies are there, PSC flag administrations are there. They all are watching. Vetting inspections. We are having vetting. We are working very closely with right ships, investors, classification societies. So these are the things which we are dealing with every day. These are all the parties which we are dealing every day. How can this be achieved? Very simple. We stick to basics. Sticking to basics is very important. Good training, good housekeeping, good watchkeeping. That's what you've been doing, and that's how we have been coming along. It is important for the ship staff, senior managers, to have a holistic view. At any given time, you should be aware what's happening on my ship, knowing your ship is very important. When you take over a ship, the problems associated with the ship, the performance of the ship, the behavior of the ship, you have to get on top of it. And then that's how your watch keeping rounds, the daily rounds which you take, the senior management, the officers, that feedback and the level of maintenance you do, that will affect your look of the ship and how you are bringing the ship along. Maintaining seaworthiness is, of course, very important. We should do our best to the ship should be seaworthy at all times, and that's what matters. The safety of the cargo, the safety of the crew are the most important things for us. What are the concerns? We have some concerns which we have not been able to address in past few years because of the disconnect. We usually go on board, and we usually meet you all. We see the ships, what's happening, but still there are some areas. There's always scope of improvement, which we have, which we should have always. So when we see some issues, when we see problems, we develop some policies. And then it has to be implemented properly. We have to share the policies with you with a view of, so that you can implement it. We require a good compliance. Compliance is very important. What we have given and what we have requested ship staff to do, it is implemented on board and passed to everybody on board for their understanding. Quality of communication and reporting, this is a very important thing. Quality of communication, how vessel is communicating to the charterers, how responding to the messages, what feedbacks they are giving. It's at the end of the day, we are in a service industry, and we have to report what's happening on the vessel. With the increase in the communication services these days, this has become a very important part of our daily work. Reporting. Clear reporting, good reporting, quality reporting is absolutely necessary. You people have been doing a very good job, and this is a focus area for us also, and we keep training everybody in this regard. Enforcement and consistency. You implement something, it is okay, but consistency is important. How you maintain it over a period of time, how you maintain your consistency. Today you do one thing, but the weather is harsh, the circumstances are harsh, things keep falling apart. So doing the thing consistently is important. Follow up. How you do it, we follow up, we review, we see how effective it has been, what the change, what we have made, what we have implemented, our policies. Are they effective? We need to do a gap